and hopefully we'll make it happen. But anyways, moving forward, Give Life, Save Life TV is in the making. Chefs, nutritionists, yogis that'll be featured on the show. And the thing about it is, it's going to be on location in the studios of yogis, in the kitchens of chefs, in the offices of psychologists. So I'm looking forward to it. Valerie B, you got some information. What's in the water?
Oh, you guys really want to know? All right. Want to welcome back the vegans. Love you all. And our guest, Miss Barbara Golden. And just quickly, I'm just going to do some real quick chemistry, physics, and environmental breakdown of water, and just share with you all some statistics that I found out. Obviously, a water is a molecule called H2O that contains 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. The sun's heat causes surface water to evaporate. It rises in the atmosphere, then cools and condenses from the clouds. When enough water vapor condenses, it falls back to the surface again as rain, sleet, or snow. The water we use and consume comes from 2 main sources, groundwater and surface water. Groundwater is usually rainwater or melting snow that seeps into the ground, while surface water collects in the streams, rivers, lakes, etc. 97% of this water is found in oceans and can't be used for drinking because of its salt content, while 3% is fresh and locked into ice or glaciers. Now, the Water Quality Association says that drinking water contaminants that have chronic side effects include chemicals such as disinfection byproducts, ammonia, aluminum, solvents, pesticides, mercury, radium, arsenic, selenium, and obviously some of the major side effects from this are the big C: cancer, liver, kidney, reproductive problems, eye problems, and a plethora of other illnesses. Water near agricultural and industrial plants contain the most harmful contaminants due to, of course, the pesticides, the fertilizers, and chemical runoffs. Pharmaceutical, and this was interesting, and I don't know why it was surprising to me, though, but pharmaceutical and personal care products that are emerging now as contaminants. 90% of oral drugs pass through the human body and end up in our water supply.
Wow.
A typical American uses 80 to 100 gallons of water every day, while only 1% of that water is coming into our homes is drinkable. So only 1% we drink. The other is used for other purposes. 85% of the U.S. population receives water from community water systems, which are known as municipal water, which is supposed to meet standards set by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, while 15% of the U.S. population relies on individually owned sources of drinking water, such as wells and springs and that sort of water, and usually in rural areas. 1/3 of Americans drink bottled water. As with tap water, bottled water comes from the municipal water system. So a lot of us, and I used to think that, if it's bottled water, it must be good. You know, it's not the same as tap water, but most of it just comes right from our municipal supply. Now, the CDC, Center for Disease Control, also warns people with compromised immune systems of a parasite called Cryptosporidium, which can cause fatal results for those suffering from immune deficiencies. People who are suffering from this type of deficiencies should be very careful, and if they're drinking bottled water, they should look for bottled water treatments that protect against this parasite. They should be looking for water with reverse osmosis, distillation, and filtration with an absolute 1 micron filter. So really interesting stuff. And I'm sure that Barbara Golden and the vegans have more to add to it, but it was.
That's powerful information, though. Dr. Joe, jump right in.
First thing I'd like to say, it's a pleasure once again being on your show. And it's very important, as I've said before, my wife is the best vegan chef on the planet, bar none. But her food is no better than the water used to prepare it.
Mm-hmm. So, Ms. Golden, jump right in. Does any of those statistics that Valerie B. just stated, because you were over here, agreeing with it, sound so familiar, doesn't it?
They sound so familiar because I've been studying this since the 80s. Due to having a child that was very sick with asthma, I am a craniosacral therapist. That's my profession. So I'm in the health field. Water has really become primary to me. The President Obama's Council on Water, they have advised people not to drink tap water or bottled water.
Wow.
Flat out.
Mama Nasir, talk to us. What's the importance behind the natural water versus your regular bottled water?
Well, I think it's very important to filterize your water, whatever you're drinking, because there's been so many contaminants out here, and especially the pharmaceutical drugs and all of this waste goes into the water. And we must remember that whatever you drink from the sink, you're also sharing it with the toilet water. And I did some research on that just a few days ago, and I was just amazed. So therefore, it depends on how healthy your body is to even assimilate whatever water. But you certainly would like I've had several types of water, but the carbon block filter from Multipure has been really wonderful in terms of one of the best filters in the world.
Great. Dr. Joe, you both have written a chapter around water in your book.
Yes, that's true.
Just talk to us a little bit more about that.
Well, part of what we knew was important for our people is not just the food but the water. And I think the information is fairly clear. If your body's 70% water, you need to put about 70% of that kind of liquid in your body. And listening to your guest that was on before, he was absolutely right. There are signs that you get that you're thirsty, and oftentimes we mistaken them for thinking we're hungry, and then we can end up eating a lot of food or pseudo food, which is something we can talk about later. But it's important to drink water so that you can flush your body, so you can keep your body rhythm going, so you can avoid things like arthritis and joint problems. You can have more cushion in your body that way. And by just putting in enough water, since your brain is, oh my goodness, about 80% water, if you don't drink enough water, your brain is going to shrink. And all of this points to the fact, yes, we need to drink water. But the elephant in the room is, how can you drink any water if you know that water's not good for you?
Wow, that's powerful. Real quick, before we go to Barbara Golden, Valerie B. is doing her research right now, so stay tuned for Give Life, Save Life on July 28th. She's going to talk about the lemons and the importance of lemons. So, and you always used to institute this in me. In the morning, you need some water and lemon. Water and lemon.
Well, and like I said, I don't preach what I don't practice, so if it works for me, I'm going to share it. It may not be ideal for everyone else, but it's done wonders for me. And as far as weight loss and hydrating your body, I've done some research that so many experts and health and fitness gurus recommend that lukewarm water and fresh squeezed lemon first thing in the morning, you drink it. It just does wonders. It does so many things, cleanses you out, prepares your body, and makes it more, easier to absorb the vitamins and nutrients of the real foods and the water that we're going to be drinking. It's perfect for weight loss. It's just wonderful. I love lemons. And I could talk all day about lemons, but now lemons paired with the real water, who knows what the possibilities are. Because, I was one that, like I said, for a while, bottled water, it must be better than the tap water. And then as I started to get a little wiser and wised up, it's like, well, how do we know that someone's not just using their tap water and just filling the bottled water, which I found out is really from the municipal water system. But yes, lemons. And just real quick, for those people who really don't like water, there are some people who just don't like it, and now we know why. It's probably the taste and what's all in it. But, put a little lemon juice in it. Put a little lemon juice if you just don't like the straight water. But definitely. So I'm all
stay
pumped
tuned.
up about that.
She's doing a whole show, and she got a couple of guests that she's going to bring on. She's been doing a research just about the importance of the lemon. So, Barbara, real quickly, as we, are educating ourselves, about the water, and of course hearing about the thing in Flint, Michigan, and of course the contaminants and pollutions and all that, what are you discovering? What's so different today in reference to the research of the waters than it was back then?
I started learning about this in the 80s, and I thought it could never get worse. And things are worse because there's so much political issues involved now with how we're protected. So we need, what I really believe, and I always did, is we need to protect our own water. The government, like the municipality, does the best they can do with the money they're given. They only can test for a few things, and even if they find out it has too much lead, they can't change that. That's up to us. And this Multi-Pure company that we were talking about, they have donated so much to Flint, Michigan, among other places, all for nonprofit, just to help.
That's wonderful.
And so much education there, really right there.
Wow.
And like you, I start every day with lemon in my water, every morning.
I better start doing it.
Well, but you do the turmeric.
The turmeric at night. Yeah, still doing the turmeric at night. I'm going to try to.
I want to say one more thing,
Sure.
that because of the kidneys really are in charge of all this contamination in our body, we have to protect those kidneys. We need the best kind of filter,
Powerful.
or else we are that filter.
Wow,
And
that's
then
very
that-
powerful.
yeah.
Quality of life. Dr. Joe, you brought in a big chart, but it's behind me. I cannot identify it. Educate me, Dr. Joe. I mean, I can't see it. It's behind me.
Okay,
So go ahead.
what I have here is the banner that we have, a multi-pure banner. And what it does, it lists the various contaminants that it's been certified and tested to take out.
From A to Z, huh? Just give us a couple of them, okay?
Okay. Well, we have arsenic V, asbestos, chloramine, chloridane, chlorine, cis, lead, mercury, MTB. The list goes on.
Ibuprofen.
Well,
Yeah,
when you were talking about the emerging contaminants,
Pharmaceuticals.
the pharmaceuticals that go through the body, they come through the body in many ways. We actually have a system that takes those out, takes out every virus. So
That's powerful.
very
So again, we use water in everything. We use water in literally cooking, cleaning, bathing. How do we avoid?
You cannot avoid water.
No. How can we avoid from these bacteria? Because watch this. Back in the day, I remember, never forget, my mother and father used to boil.
I was just gonna say.
Used to boil the water.
It'll be all right. Just
Yeah,
boil
just
it.
boil it. Just boil it. You know what I
How
mean?
effective is
I
that?
did it.
Yeah.
Well, probably back in the day when we didn't have so many chemicals out there, that would have been fairly effective. But now that we have all of these heavy metals and other things in
Yeah.
our environment, when you boil it, what you're left with is the heavy metals.
Right.
Gotcha. Go ahead, Barbara.
well. They become part of that molecule, and you can't get rid of it. So it's true. Maybe our grandparents could boil the water.
Yeah,
we
that-
don't even know if it was as effective.
But it was a much simpler time, and like you said, without
Right.
all the fancy technology and the chemicals
And
and,
the
the
food
runoff.
is different.
Right.
So the only thing we really can do is stop it. Stop
Right.
it from entering our body.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
the bacteria, the chemicals.
And you were talking about Cryptosporidium before, which really has taken out many, many people in our communities. We don't hear it like that.
Right.
Can you give me the layman's term on what that means?
It's
a parasite.
It's a parasite that can be. It's been found in San Francisco, among many places. It's just there, and if you randomly pour the glass of water and that happens to hit your glass,
you're drinking it.
You're drinking it.
You're consuming
it. If you're old, or if you're sick, or if you're a kid, or if you're just having a hard time, it's going to make you very sick.
I didn't get a chance to read the chapter Around the Water, by the way. So could you just give us a couple of snapshots of your chapter in the book? Well, and of course, give us the name of the book, tell the listeners, and where they can go and get it.
Okay. All right. Well, Mama, help us out here. The name of the book?
Yes, the name of the book is Spicy, Tasty Vegan Cuisine. Our website is spicytastyvegan.com. And we can also be reached on the website of oaklandwater.com, oaklandwaterfilters.com.
Okay, great.
And our books can be located in the Marcus Bookstore in Oakland and Rainbow Groceries in San Francisco.
Now, we have 3 books. We have one that Mama and I, because of the gravity of the situation with our people dying, we took 27 months, no TV and no doorbell, to get this book out. And while I was doing it, the research, it's like, oh my goodness, everybody needs some of this. Even though we have different bodies and we have different type of food that can support it. That's why we wrote the second book, which was for the general public. And we have a kitchen companion. So we do have 3 books up there. You can download it. If you have a Kindle device, talking $5.95, $4.99, or you can get the hard copy, black and white or color.
Right. And also, you can get this equipment that we're talking about as far as the water filter and everything on your website too, right?
Yes, you can. Just go to spicytastyvegan.com and you can see the Multi-Pure store, or just go to
Oakland Water Filters.
One more time.
We'll get oaklandwaterfilters.com. It will be the same site. It's just another way to get to it.
Right. That's great.
And there's phone numbers for people who may want to have questions.
And
the number is?
One of the phone numbers is 510-473-6579. That's for the Spicy Tasty Vegan. And for
510-813-0486.
That's great.
Happy to answer any questions.
That's great. This was a powerful show because the more knowledge that we get in reference to what we consume, we become more educated. And you are all the vessels. I want to thank you guys for joining us this afternoon. So what's up and coming with the vegans? What you got going on?
We do have we just got through it a couple over the weekend. We did the Jamaican American annual.
In the Redwoods.
Yes, we were there. We were one of the co-sponsors there. And then we were at Mandela Co-op in Oakland. They had their street festival. And on the 16th, we are going to be in Oakland, and it's going to be across the street from Kingston 11 at the rooftop. And that's going to be from 3 to 6. And if you're interested, please go on our website, spicytastyvegan.com, or Facebook. Hit us there, facebook.com, which is /Spicy Tasty Vegan, the books. And the number again, Nasir, where they can reach us?
510-473-6579.
That's great. Thank you guys for joining us. Brother, again, just give me again, I want to get that snapshot of the chapter where we talked about water.
Well, water, it's what we did is we talked about how your body requires water. We talked about the earth and how we're basically in relationship with that. 70%, our body's basically 70% liquid, and how we have to use water. In that chapter, we talked about the different types of systems that people use to filter their water, whether it's distilled, reverse osmosis. We talked about the ionizers, and it looks like we've got a new chapter coming, and that is we also have the carbon block filter. But after we wrote the book,
that's what I was waiting for, brother, by the way.
Then we discovered the best carbon block filter in the world, and it's been that way for 40 years. And it is tested by an independent nonprofit organization that tests the over 8,700 filters, and it's been #1 for 40 years.
Excellent. Any closing remarks?
And I also have had the experience with drinking over 40 years different water systems, and going from Alhambra, Arrowhead, Black Mountain, boiling the water, the alkaline water, reverse osmosis. And with the alkaline, that was the last one before Montepure, and I was challenged with my kidneys, because I think after I started to alkaline my body more, but then the alkaline water became a little bit too stressful on my kidneys. So after 2 weeks of trying, connecting with Barbara Golden in the Tai Chi class, we have that together in the mornings. And she said, well, you need to look into this water. And I said, well, I'm drinking alkaline as I was having pain. And she said, no, you try this. And so I thought about it, and I trusted her, and we got it. And I'm really happy with it. I drink at least 1 gallon to 1.5 gallons a day with my herbs, with my turmeric. And the water tastes so good that we've been sharing it with people, and so many people are now interested, and the price is really affordable. Great. I can say that.
Great. So go on the website for more information on that.
Absolutely.
Dr. Joe, anything in closing?
I just wanted to say, if your body is reasonably healthy, your liver and your pancreas is going to alkaline your water. Now, the ionizer device that was out there in Japan, it was certified as a medical device, and that's because after that bomb was dropped on those people, they had a lot of challenges. But you fast forward over here with a lot of marketing, and you end up where a lot of people are paying sweat and blood for something that is not certified, like this multi-pure system. And if you do have one, don't worry about it. You can always take one of these systems and connect it to your ionizer device. And in America right now, the way things are going, the more filters, the better. So we salute any of you that are trying to drink better water.
Great. Thank you so much. Valerie B., as we close.
Well, it's always so informative with, of course, the vegans and Miss Golden coming on sharing about water. I've always been a big advocate of water, because we don't always do and eat what we should or drink what we should be drinking. But I know that water, and I'm going to do better at the water I drink, has saved me and got me to where I am now. I suffer from asthma, but I know that water it's the lifeblood.
Yeah,
it's a lifeblood.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you don't do anything else, you got to drink your water.
Yeah. It was very eye-opening to me. I don't drink enough water. However, I am going to start. Definitely going to make a commitment. And I remember what the brother was saying, Greg, earlier. We should treat water like it's prescribed to us as a medicine.
Yes.
And I'm going to take that mindset. I got to take my medicine, which is the water. Any closing comments, Doctor?
Well, I'd just like to say once again, you guys are doing a wonderful job for the community and for the world. And we are so blessed to just be here and share what we can with you, because we get so much love from you.
Yeah.
So thank you.
No, I'm honored. And I'm honored. And trust and believe me, you guys were there at a very pivotal part of my week. And I want to thank you for just supporting and pouring into me, and in order to get to it, you got to go through it. And I survived it, and I'm sure there's going to be more storms, but I'm going to drink my water. Until next week, I want to thank everybody for joining us. A special shout out to the brother that's up in North Oakland right now. Brother